As a seasoned traveler and host of Rudy Max's World on public television, I believe one of the most important things you can do is to get good information about a destination, especially when it comes to finding great places to eat and drink. In the Twin Cities, Discover Delicious TV is a great source for where to dine, find a craft cocktail or beer, or just grab a quick bite from one of the city's incredible food trucks. We hope you enjoy watching Discover Delicious.
Hi, I'm Leslie Miller, your host. This is Discover Delicious, a weekly TV show and online presence that celebrates all that the greater Minneapolis-St. Paul area has to offer in dining, brewing, distilling, cooking, and all the great companies, products, and places that contribute to the experience. Each week, Discover Delicious will feature different aspects of the culinary and drink world in the Twin Cities, from restaurants to food trucks to breweries, distilleries, and wineries. And for the next several weeks, we will be following the SPIRE Credit Union food truck competition. We're glad you found us. Now, let's get started. After discovering the world's highest rated beer, Insight Brewing founder went around the world on a beer quest. He then launched Insight Brewing.
Back in 2007, I was going to college for classical music. What happened is I accidentally tasted the world's highest rated beer in Denmark as I was visiting family. And as I tasted that beer, it was something that was like the birds came out, sun started shining, one of those moments where I realized what I wanted to do in the world. I get back to the States and I start talking to brewers, I start reading textbooks, and I start home brewing. During this process, I had professors who saw this passion that I had and asked me to apply for a fellowship that would pay for me to travel around the world post-graduation studying my passion, which was beer. So I ended up taking about a year and a half, and I contacted breweries, farms, festivals, put together this year of travel, applied, became a finalist, and lost. So I ended up starting this blog called Bike for Beer. And ended up biking everywhere I went. I called all the breweries, asked if I could work a little harder for a place to stay and a meal. So I ended up going and picking hops in England, and I worked at the Fuller's Brewery in London, biked around the country, went out to Japan, brewed sake and beer. After that I went to Denmark, hired on as a head brewer in northern Denmark. Before I came back to the States, I ended up traveling among Belgium and France, visiting breweries and wineries. So then I get back to the States, time to start a brewery. The name Insight is inspired from the actual travels around the world and learning how they do it in their specific location. You get to really learn about the insight to the world of beer. And our goal as a brewery is to keep learning about the insight to the world of beer all around the world.
As a brewer here at Insight, I've been brewing for about a year and a half. Entered a couple different contests. The one I'm most proud of is the World Beer Cup out in Philadelphia. Tons of breweries involved. There was something like 5,000 different beers from 2,000 different breweries. And we were one of 5 breweries from Minnesota to bring back a medal. So we got a bronze medal for our Saison Sunken City in the Belgian fruit beer category. So we're really proud of that.
I come to Insight because I love their beer. I am a big fan of all their fruity Saison beers, and I'm here actually representing Wild Paws, and they are donating $2 of every pint sold tonight.
A lot of beer going in barrels right now. When I first got here 6 months ago, we had 0 barrels going, and right now we have 60. When you put beer into an oak barrel, it will change the beer itself. It kind of changes the complexity of it, adds a little bit more depth to it. We have lots of different barrels going on, so we have a couple tequila barrels, bourbon barrels, 2 wine barrels, 14 sour barrels going right now. Think of sours as like sour candies, kind of sweet and bitter and sour all at the same time. It's a new form of beer that America's catching on to, which I've been brewing for a couple years, and it's just fun to kind of change people's perception of what a beer can taste like. To throw something different at them like that, it's actually really fun to kind of play on their taste buds.
So what we do now as a brewery is I continue traveling around the world. I keep working with breweries, and we keep making new recipes, new ideas, new processes, and with that we bring a legend back with every place that we go, and that becomes the beer. That becomes the story of this mythical brewmaster that is traveling the world for beer.
I think the taproom experience at Insight is unique due to the fact that we have a variety of different beers on tap at all different times. Some of them you can only exclusively find here in the taproom. We've currently been installing a new tap system which will feature 25 beers in the near future. Tours we do every Saturday right around noon, 12:15. You can just show up and it's a free tour. You get a free 10-ounce beer.
In addition to a unique taproom experience, our taproom has been a host to a variety of cool events. We've done everything from co-ed baby showers, birthday parties, retirement parties, local business happy hours. We have multiple seating areas. Our main focus is to make sure that our guests are having the best time possible drinking the best beer. If anyone watching wants to plan an event, all the information is on the website and you can submit a request right online.
What we're doing right now is really, really cool. And personally, for all of us that got to start this, everyone that gets to work here, we're just passionate about beer. It's a joy to be here every single day. I really love what I do.
SPIRE Credit Union built a food truck and is holding a cook-off. The winning chef gets the use of the food truck for an entire year. This week, we head to CHS Field to get the competition underway.
There's a big food truck craze right now. I'm just really excited that SPIRE's really been a part of this and really to be with these chefs and these potential strong chefs for SPIRE to partner with them. I'm just really excited about that.
We took all of them on a tour of the food truck. They all got a kick out of the food truck. They were not expecting what it was going to look like. It's a full kitchen on that truck.
Yes.
That was something that was a shock to most of them. We're back at CHS Field. You may remember that last week we met all the competitors and they started their prep work and we're getting ready for the big competition. Welcome to the 2016 SPIRE Food Truck Competition. We're just about to get started. I just want to go over a couple things with you real quick. First and foremost, the scorecard. Remember, as we prepped you all, there's going to be 2 entrees, of which you have approximately 2 hours and 20 minutes to prepare, all right? Both of those entrees are going to be judged upon taste and also the presentation. Then we will be having an overall score. Any questions thus far? Just wait, there's more. Did you happen to know that our CEO is a fan of cheese curds? So guess what each and every one of you now have to prep for to serve as an appetizer at 6 o'clock sharp is your version of a cheese curd. I'm not kidding, he's a fan, so you better be planning right now how you're gonna be able to get that cheese curd to be the best cheese curd that he's ever tasted. You will also be getting judged on that cheese curd on the presentation, as well as the taste and the quality. Now, any questions? But wait, there's more. You know what I did not do for all of you? I did not tell you who our judges are going to be. Now we still have 3 surprise judges, but we have 1 judge that is here today that you've already met. Do you all remember ordering your food on Friday? Do you remember sitting down with Matt? Did you also know that Matt from Performance Foods has already been judging you since Friday? So he is also going to be one of the judges, and he will also be working with you today to get your station set up to make sure that you are properly ready to go. All right, so here we go. So what's gonna happen? Marcus, you're gonna be down this way in the fries and pies. Julie, you'll be right over here in the gallery grill. And all right, Lito, you're all the way down at the end at the Champions Club. All right, well, let's get ready. Let's get this competition started, all right? Yeah. Let's go. Now, you might say that the person who comes in second or third is going to be, doggone, it's crushing. However, we at SPIRE Credit Union will be using that truck for such things as give back, whether it be for collecting canned goods or collecting coats or gloves or whatever it might be. We might even be taking that food truck to our branches, the metro area, helping off in flood relief, any type of things that we can do to give back. And during that time, we'll be using the other 2 individuals to help us with that process. Join us next week, so we're going to be meeting all the contestants individually and learning about who they are and what their background is.
For over 20 years, longtime friends dreamed of opening their own restaurant. That day finally arrived in June of this year with XAVI.
Hi, my name is James Elm. I'm the GM and co-owner of XAVI Restaurant here in the Diamond Lake, Hale Page neighborhood of South Minneapolis. We're located on the corner of Chicago and 56th Avenue. My friend and business partner Michael Egan and I decided we wanted to create a restaurant that was a warm, welcoming environment. And we think we've done that here at XAVI Restaurant.
I'm Michael Egan, chef and co-owner of XAVI Restaurant in the Diamond Lake neighborhood. Opened it with my longtime friend James Elm. We've been thinking about doing this restaurant for over 20 years, the length of our friendship. We're really happy to be in the neighborhood.
We have over 40 wines, 18 of which by the glass.
We love the wine list. It takes a lot to get us out of the downtown area where we live, but this is definitely a place that will do it.
We also have 10 tap beers on selection, 2 of which rotate all the time. We're very proud to be carrying the Milk and Honey Cider from northern Minnesota. All of our beers are made either in Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Michigan. Our wine list is extensive and includes wines from all over Europe, as well as California, Washington, and Oregon. I'm especially fond of a very nice little wine from Slovenia. It's a Sauvignon Blanc that is just delicious. We also have a very nice sparkling wine called Treveri, great for either fish, seafood, or just because it's a Tuesday and you want to have a little sparkling.
The pairing of the food and wine here is really unique, and it's really done with a lot of thought involved. The food is done very artistically, and the wine is paired to really match.
One of my favorite dishes, and also one of the customers' favorites, is the scallop crudo. There's just a couple steps that we do. I mean, obviously we get the best scallops we can every day. We take usually about 1 scallop or 1.5 and slice it really thinly into like a coin shape. And then we alternate that with what we call a supreme of grapefruit, which basically means we cut all the skin and all the pith off it, so you're just left with the meat of the fruit. And then toasted sesame seeds, tarragon oil, which we make by blanching tarragon leaves and then pureeing it with a very neutral oil like canola oil or grapeseed oil. And then sea beans, which are just an interesting vegetable. They're grown in salt marshes. They look like little baby miniature asparagus, but they have a very salty flavor to them, so it kind of plays well with the sweetness of the scallops and the acidity of the grapefruit. And just kind of arrange everything together so that they all kind of nestle together, and then sprinkle it with a little sea salt, and that's it. It's good to go.
We wanted to create a very warm and inviting area here in XAVI. We've used a lot of earth tones, a lot of grays, light browns. We even have some beautiful stone around the fireplace we have here. We think it creates a very inviting and welcoming atmosphere, both for families and just for fun.
We just love that we can come here and hang out with friends, and that it's a relaxed atmosphere, and you get really good food at a really good price.
So the lamb ribs are it's a kind of a long process if you think about it, just like cooking ribs. We have a marinade that we put on it that has brown sugar and soy and ginger and allspice and a little bit of clove. And we usually try to marinate the lamb ribs at least 2 days, and then we kind of brush the marinade off and then grill them on a very hot grill, and then finish them in the oven where we roast them for at least 1.5 hours, about 300 degrees or so. And then when we're ready to eat them, we just heat them up in the oven and then dress them with a little spoonful of cilantro sauce. It's made with cilantro leaves, lemon juice, and sesame seeds, and then a little accompaniment of diced up mango.
Michael and I have been friends for over 20 years. And during that time, we've both worked at a lot of different restaurants doing a lot of different things. We always had one thing in mind. We wanted to do a place together, a place that we could both be proud of, and a place that people would want to come into and have a good time in.
At the end of the day, we wanted to create a family-friendly restaurant here at XAVI, and we hope to see you soon.
Craving Eastern European with a modern twist, over 70 vodkas and 6 variations of the Moscow Mule? Hammer and Sickle in Uptown is your destination.
My name is Dustin House. I'm the general manager of Hammer and Sickle in Uptown Minneapolis. Our owner came to me and said, I've always wanted to do a vodka bar. I got this space and I want to name it Hammer and Sickle. Pretty much you can figure out the rest. So being Minneapolis' vodka bar, we have over 70 different kinds of vodka, including 6 of our own house-made infusions. We really shine with our specialty cocktails here, particularly the Moscow Mule, which we have 6 different variations of. Definitely the Copper Cup is what Hammer and Sickle is known for. I'm sure if you talk to a lot of people that have been here, they've probably had 1 or 2.
They have great Moscow Mules, good times, and a great staff.
Hammer and Sickle really shines at night. When you come in when it's dark, you're going to see a lot of reds, a lot of grays. Our neon outside, our back bar, a few clocks on the wall, our lovely chalkboard over there where you can buy drinks for people in advance if you'd like. The place really comes to life at night.
This is the best place to go on a Friday night. Good atmosphere.
The atmosphere at Hammer and Sickle is cozy, fun, sexy, really makes you feel comfortable.
I love their phenomenal menu. I love the fun and friendly staff.
Our head executive chef of the company, Phil Dvorak, developed the food menu and did a fantastic job with putting a nice uptown-friendly American twist on Eastern European food. Something different that really wasn't seen in this area.
Stroganoff it's a steak and the potatoes that are just done just absolutely perfectly.
We have a fantastic food menu here at Hammer and Sickle with a variety of options. Like our neon outside says, we're known for vodka and we're known for pierogi. That doesn't limit us to a bunch of the other offerings that we have, including a numerous amount of small plate appetizers.
The pierogies are our favorite. We've also had the skewers and a bunch of other things. It's very good, Russian authentic, and tastes great.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend the food. The food's great.
We make everything from scratch. We make everything in-house here. We focus on Eastern European cuisine with an American twist to it. Fantastic rib sticking, hearty stroganoff, Kiev, pierogies.
The pierogies, can't go wrong with that.
The traditional pierogi is boiled with a base of cheese and potato for a filling. Our American twist on the pierogi, it's a little more doughy and we actually cook it on a flat top. We do traditional style fillings in the form of cheese and potato, but we also had a little bit of fun and had 5 other spin-offs. So 3 of our most popular offerings that we have in our food menu. One, definitely the beef stroganoff. This isn't your traditional frozen TV dinner stroganoff. You have your choice of it being served on mashed potatoes or spätzle, all homemade, and then a lovely mushroom cream sauce that we serve with it. It's fantastic, probably one of our best-selling large plate items that we have.
You got the stroganoff, best in town.
The chicken Kiev gets served on a bed of mashed potatoes and a medley of vegetables. The third would probably be our Comrade pierogi. That's probably our most popular pierogi. That's got more of your traditional filling to it. Food here is fantastic and it sells itself.
The neighborhood's great. It's convenient to walk here and we have a great time here.
I love the vibe in here. It's a great place to go and have a couple of drinks.
Uptown's a very vibrant, fun area.
My son lives in Uptown. Come here and you can do so many things in Uptown. You can ride bike, you can hit the lake, you can go for walks. It's just a phenomenal neighborhood.
Our clientele base ranges anywhere from anywhere. We really have people from all different ages, all different areas of not only Uptown, but also people from the suburbs that do come to have a night out, something different. We really have a wide mix of customers that really appreciate kind of what we're doing here and appreciate that we're kind of off the beaten path a little bit. I think they think that when they come here, it's kind of more of an adventure than it is your traditional, night out. If you're in the mood for something different, something kind of off the beaten path, definitely come and try some of our fantastic food and cocktail offerings. You will not be disappointed if you come here at Hammer and Sickle.
Hi, Dan Stoltz here with SPIRE. Gonna hang out with Aldi today.
What kind of products and services would you say you use?
I feel like my whole wallet's filled with SPIRE cards. My business is at SPIRE, my personal is at SPIRE. When I was opening my business, I didn't even shop around for banks, and we just went right to SPIRE. I have a branch that's by my office, and then I have a branch that's by my house. So no matter where I'm at or where I'm going, I know that I'm on the way to a SPIRE at some point. They've always treated myself and my family right.
Passionate about taste, committed to quality, uncompromising every step of the way. Dedicated to the finest ingredients available, this is Tattersall Distilling.
I got into distilling, I guess it started with bartending, and then I'd started 2 other beverage companies. One day, John came to visit me at a restaurant I used to work at, had some cocktails, saw that I was making everything behind the bar, said, all right, you've made everything behind the bar, have you ever made the booze? 2 of us got started and went to distilling school, and here we are.
Dan and I have been friends since 2nd grade. We took very different paths after school. The sexy story is the 2 of us got together and decided to start a distillery. The reality is there was about a year of research, visiting many distilleries across the country, and we've been at it since spring of 2014.
Distilling, for me, it's very, very pure. As a bartender, it's something that is so pure about being able to make the booze that you're actually going to be making a cocktail out of. We almost reverse engineer the boozes at times here, especially the liqueurs, with a cocktail in mind. And then we basically build the spirit around that cocktail. That's the fun R&D part.
We're currently making about 2 dozen spirits and liqueurs. There's probably another dozen of them in various states of production. We're distributing just shy of 20 of them. The decision on what to make is really driven by the cocktail and what we think we need for the bar and what the public is really demanding.
The cocktail we're making today is the North Side cocktail. That is aquavit,
with mint, lime, and a little bit of simple syrup. Something we make here with habanero bitters, but you can make it very easily at home. Without the habanero, you can just shake a pepper in there with it, give it a little bit of added spice. XAVI is essentially a Scandinavian spirit. I call it Scandinavian gin. The botanicals that we use are going to be caraway, so you get this kind of rye bread flavor, and then fennel, which gives you a softer licorice flavor.
The process for making XAVI is going to start with a corn base. We start with corn flour. It gets cooked down in our mash cooker. From there, we ferment it for approximately a week. What you're essentially making is a corn beer. Once the fermentation has ceased, we distill that in our big still, our 500-gallon wash still. From there, we'll take the alcohol content from about 8% up to around 55 to 60%. After we complete that, we'll distill it again.
I've been a long-time lover of XAVI. The earthiness of it, I think it plays a lot better with everything from citrus to botanicals to even like maple syrup. It's very malleable. Bennett Johnson told me his one prerequisite for working here is that we had to make XAVI.
Tattersall is a destination micro distillery located in the historic Thorpe building on Central Avenue in Northeast Minneapolis. It's a little tricky to find the first time, but it kind of gives it a bit of that speakeasy feel. This building was built in 1903. During World War II, it housed General Mills Mechanical Division. We really tried to keep that natural aesthetic. You'll see the steel, the cement, the glass, just a perfect setting for a distillery.
The barrels we have here, primarily what you're looking at is whiskey barrels. Most of this is Minnesota oak that's charred. We do have some French oak barrels that we age, our barrel-aged gin, also the aquavit, and also an apple brandy.
Cocktail room's open Wednesday through Saturday. We have the best staff in town, an extensive cocktail menu, over 45 drinks on the menu. We pride ourselves on hospitality. We invite everybody to come on in, try a drink, go for a tour on Saturdays, and you can also find us in liquor stores, bars, and restaurants across the state, and now in South Dakota and Wisconsin as well.
Rum is probably my favorite spirit. Extremely versatile. There's a lot of different types of it. You know, think of wine, how many different types of varietals there are. Rum is very unique in that aspect, that there's a lot of different styles of rum.
The number one thing that sets Tattersall apart, the most obvious, is just the breadth of our portfolio. What I really think that sets us apart more so is just the quality of the spirits.
It is totally driven by passion. Work hard, we play hard. We absolutely love what we do here, and we're not going to stop.
It's something I'm very passionate about, something I love, and so it doesn't, the old phrase, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, it really doesn't. We love what we're doing here. We take a lot of pride in what we do, and we hope that shows in the product and that we're putting out there. We hope people enjoy it.
If you're hungry for tasty teppanyaki made from the freshest ingredients and cooked to order, head directly to the Hibachi Daruma food truck.
Hi, my name is Ying Alvarez, and I'm the owner of the Hibachi food truck in downtown Minneapolis. It's a family business. My husband and I putting a lot of work into it.
My name is Miguel Alvarez. I'm the chef and owner of the Hibachi Daruma food truck. Everything fresh, simple.
My husband and I met in a Japanese hibachi restaurant in Minnesota.
I started cooking in Japanese restaurants when I was in Mexico City. I was 16 years old. I really like it. I love the food, the presentation, the Japanese culture. So I decided to keep going. I see that there's food trucks around, and I find a way to get my own truck. I decided to serve Japanese food on the streets.
Thank you. Today we are prepping at our commercial kitchen, and all our food is made from scratch. We will hand cut the onions, carrots, zucchini, all the vegetables, tenderize the beef, peel the shrimp, devein it, and cut the chicken. Fresh food is very important when daily eating. It always tastes better. It has a much better flavor.
This is my favorite food truck of all the trucks. I search it out. When they're down here, I will find them. It's fresh, it's awesome, I love it, it tastes great.
I really love what I do, and I want people to have it. Get close to the people and bring the Japanese experience to them.
The hibachi food is very popular. It's a flat grill, and people can sit around it, and I have a chef cooking in front of them, and they can see all the food that is the way they cook, the seasoning, everything that it's just right on the table and in front of the customer's eyes. So when we work in the restaurant, we see that people really love this type of food, but people has to sit at the table and usually has a longer wait. When we have the food truck idea, we know that we can bring the delicious hibachi food in a fast pace for the people that doesn't have time to sit around the table.
Our teriyaki sauce is very important part of the food because we cook chicken and beef with teriyaki. So we make it once a week. We use ketchup, we use sugar, we use Japanese rice wine, soy sauce, tonkatsu sauce, ginger and apples. Yeah, that's our secret.
The food truck runs to downtown Minneapolis, but we also go other cities for special events.
Usually we post on Facebook and Twitter so people know our location every morning.
Our food truck also does catering service. They can have from chicken shrimp to filet and the lobster. It depends on people's budget.
My dream is always have my own restaurant. We trying to open our own brick and mortar restaurant, hopefully very soon. I have a lot of ideas. We would like to bring more of the izakaya experience to the customers.
Perfect.
Working in the food truck is a very amazing experience to see the customers' reaction when they get the food and they look so happy. They follow us. I see faces twice or 3 times a week. That's incredible for me. I really love to see our customers come back.
Probably my favorite tofu of all time.
They say we are one of the best food trucks in Minnesota, which I really appreciate.
Hi, Dan Stoltz here, CEO of SPIRE. Good to see the whole Taylor family today. What kind of family is the Taylor family?
On the go and active.
So it's a family affair. All your kids have accounts?
Everyone, all 4 of the kids. You know, I suppose if they had accounts for our pets, they'd have accounts too.
You know, I work outside the home. We're a busy family. The online banking part has been what's really been helpful for me.
What makes you stay at SPIRE?
The values have never changed. That's important to me. I've been with SPIRE for so long, it's just second nature.
That's it for this week. We would like to thank everyone for watching, and we would like to thank those involved this week for welcoming us in and sharing their story. Tune in next week for another installment of the SPIRE Credit Union Food Truck Competition. We hope you enjoyed watching Discover Delicious. Join us each and every week as we bring you all things delicious. Whether you like restaurants and food trucks, craft beer, custom cocktails, or great wine, Discover Delicious aims to bring it to you. In addition, we seek out shops, classes, and places to learn about cooking, brewing, winemaking, and more. We are here on WFTC My 29 each Saturday at 11:30 a.m. And you can watch us 4 times a week on MCN Cable Channel 6. Check out each episode on our YouTube channel, website, and social media. Always remember to drink responsibly. From all of us, thank you for watching Discover Delicious.